Well, hi guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Cindy with Impressing Ideas, and today I thought we would make something using up so much of the things in our stash. So, I know many of us buy all these embellishments for a particular project and then we have leftovers, and so let's use them up. So first, let's show you what we're going to create. We are going to create a 5x7 card. We're going to learn how to make an envelope. We can put a gift card in it, maybe to one of your favorite crafting stores or what have you. We're gonna make a pocket and we're gonna embellish it with our stash. So let's set this aside for a moment. Let's show you the actual product that I'm using today. So first we have our We Are Memory Makers, We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. I am using my beautiful Spellbinders Renaissance die. I'm also going to use my Heartfelt Creations die. This happens to be called Fleur Borders and Pocket die. We are going to use some Graphic 45 Ornate metal corners. We're going to use one of the brand new Studio Katia Café lait pearls, or whatever you have in your stash. We're going to use her beautiful embellishment wand. I love it. So pretty and wonderfully useful. So I'm going to take it out now, so it's ready to go in just a short while. We're going to use some of the Nouveau Embellishment Mousse in the color gold. Of course, we're going to use our bone folder, some three-dimensional glue dots or foam dots, whatever you have. Gotta use some Stardreams. This happens to be antique bronze. And we're going to use, we're going to use two papers from Blue Fern Studios. Both are from the Bird Waltz collection. This happens to be side A and side B from the paper called this is side A, Classical Damash. This is side B, but they're both so beautiful. So beautiful. This is what we're going to make our envelope out of. Okay. Then the other piece that we're going to make our card out of, this particular paper is called Bird Call. So I already cut it apart. This is side A, side B, and you can see how I cut it. I cut it down to be 10x7. This is side B. Isn't that so pretty? So, so pretty. We're going to use this element, and these other elements will be set aside for another card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my scoreboard so that we can score our cardstock in half at 5 inches. I'm going to put my paper in. I'm going to use, instead of my bone folder, I'm going to use the tool that it came with. Okay. Again, this is going to be the inside, the outside. So we're going to put it in at 10 inches across. We're going to score it in half at 5. And I always fold my paper so that I hide the bump. So, first step done. Burnish that well. Now, just as a reminder, I always say this, Blue Fern Studios is a wonderful company right here in the United States. And it is 100-pound cardstock that when you score it and fold it, it doesn't crack. How glorious is that? So pretty. Okay, first step done. Next, we're gonna die cut out from the antique bronze Stardreams paper. We are gonna die cut out this gorgeous Spellbinders die. This die comes with a center piece, and it also comes with 2 of these corners. Oops, let me put it here so you can see that better. From that same paper, I'm also going to use the die from Heartfelt Creations, and so here is that pocket. Okay, so let's start by using our art glitter glue. Take the pin out. I am going to put some glue. Whoops, let me get this glue off my tip. There we go. I'm just going to put a small amount of adhesive. Only takes a little. Love this really fine tip. This adhesive is fabulous. It dries quickly. I get the kind that dries clear, and it is strong. I mean, it does not mess around. Okay, so I'm going to give it just a minute. I'm going to burnish it in place. I'm going to make sure I don't have anything oozing. If I do, I'll clean that up right now. Let's take our bone folder, just make sure I didn't get any glue where I didn't want it. See how fast that takes? Amazing. Let's go ahead and put our, started to put my pin in. Let's go ahead and do this while we have it out. We'll do our little embellishment for the inside corner. This is a quick and easy card that comes together very quickly because we're not doing any stamping, we're not doing any coloring. Okay. There we are so far. Okay, let's glue this to the front. We don't have to get crazy with the glue. And rather than putting it up at the very top, I'm going to leave room at the top for our metal corners. I have a couple left over from my last package, so instead of using 4, we're just going to use 2. I'm just doing my best to line this up fairly straight, although I'm not too worried about whether or not I get it perfect, because we're not perfect. Okay, put the lid on. Oops. For the metal corners, I find that a product that works really beautiful is Glossy Accents. I forgot to say that in the beginning, so Glossy Accents not only is a wonderful product to add clear dimension, but it's also a fabulous adhesive for things like metal. So it also has a fine tip, and I keep a stainless steel pin in it just to help from keeping it free of clogging. I hope you can see I'm not putting a ton of this on there, but I am putting enough. Oh, I'm going to put another drop there. And I'm going to put this in the very corner, in the upper left. Oops, give that a press. The Glossy Accents is going to take longer to dry than the art glitter glue. It's an entirely different product altogether, but remember, it's adhering metal, so it will take longer to cure. Okay, looks good. Now we'll go to the opposite corner, put that in place, press that down, put our pin back in, the lid on, put that away like responsible crafters that we are. Okay, while that's setting, I'm going to take a minute to plug in my glue gun. Let that get nice and hot because I'm thinking about our flowers that we're going to want to glue and not wait. We could use Art Institute glitter glue, but the glue gun works gloriously. Make sure it's on, and it is. Okay, that's heating up. All right, while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna get out our I'm gonna wait on that because I'm gonna also want to put it on the flowers. While this is drying, let's go ahead and look at our envelope punch board. I don't know if you have this or if you've used it multiple times, so I'm gonna pretend like you've never used it before. In the beginning, I talked about doing an envelope for a gift card, okay? So for a gift card, you can see right here, the very first row, it starts with a 2 by 3.5 parenthesis gift card. That's the card size. The paper size you need is 5 by 5. And the score line that they want you to pay attention to is 2, okay? So let's start by cutting our paper to the right size. So we have a 5 by 5 piece of paper. You're gonna slide it underneath, and it says the score line is at 2 inches. So I want you to see I've lined up my corner to 2 inches. I'm gonna press. Oops, let's take out our tool. And I'm a lefty, so I'm gonna turn this. Hope that doesn't mess anybody up. Keeping it in position, I'm going to score. So there's a score line on the right hand side. I want you to notice this little arm that comes down. Doesn't look like anything important right now. Next step, I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna turn it a full 180 degrees. 180, 160, I always get that wrong. I'm gonna go to the opposite corner, or opposite side rather. I'm gonna line it up at that 2 inch mark. I'm gonna press, and I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm going to score. Okay? Now, now we've got our two, see they're not lining up perfectly. That's great. We don't want to have them be even. We're not gonna go over here and line the next corner up at 2, no. Instead, and I don't know if you can see this in camera, I can feel my score line and I can actually see it as well, but I don't know if the camera is picking up on that. What I'm gonna do next is I'm going to line this arm up with the score line. Can you see that? Let's see if I can, oops. I wonder if you can see that. Maybe a little. Trust me, when you have this in front of you, you'll be able to see it. So this arm is lined up with that score. So now I know that I'm in the right spot and I'm gonna score. I'm gonna turn my card the opposite direction again. And, oh, I forgot to do the punch. Silly me. So let's line that back up. punch. Now I'm gonna do our last one. So I'm gonna find where this score lines up with this arm. There it is. Punch. And make our final score. Oops. There we go. Okay. And there's one more thing we can do. We can either leave it like this, but right now we have these corners, right? Hopefully all of you know that back here is a place where you can round your corners, especially when you put it in properly. Let me turn this around toward me so that I can see. Okay, here we go. There's even a little arrow right there. So I'm gonna put it in so that it doesn't wiggle left or right. Okay, that's better. And I'm gonna do that for all 4 corners. Just softening that corner. Okay, we have made a quick and easy gift card envelope. I'm gonna put my tool back away. Okay, get rid of these little bits. And then let's get out our bone folder and burnish. You know, maybe it would be helpful for me to have this out so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm starting with the bottom flap, and then I'm going to take the left side, fold it over, burnish well, fold over the right side, burnish well. The reason I took that approach is so that when you slide something in, it doesn't catch. See, that's nice and smooth. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue again, and I'm going to put just a small amount of glue here, small amount of glue here, put my pin back in, come over here, fold, and burnish. Okay, now you can fold this down if you like, or we can leave it. Oh, here's the one I did before. Okay, all right. Now, if we open this up, see how nicely that folds right inside our little pocket? Okay. All right, let's come over here. Where did I put the masterpiece? Our little, it's probably staring at me saying hello. Oh, it's underneath the card. Hello. Okay, here we go. Now, somewhere nearby I have my distress tool. I'm not quite sure where. You can skip this step if you want. All I'm doing is, and since I can't find my distress tool, I'm just using a pair of scissors. This looks a little bit like our lives, doesn't it? We try so hard, but sometimes we trip along the way, and hopefully that allows you to do even better next time. So part of the journey of making each day our masterpiece is getting right back up and continuing. So I'm distressing this just as a reflection of life. You can totally leave this whole, and if you like to leave it whole, maybe you could layer it with one of the colors of cardstock that you have that would bring out some of the beauty in these beautiful papers. really the point is just using up what we have in your stash. So take a look, see what you want to do. This paper is so amazing. Ah, man, just love it. Okay, let's call that good. I could keep going, but let's not. Okay, now I am now going to use some of this Nouveau Embellishment Mousse. And as a tip, if you have some Glad press and seal in your kitchen, make sure you have some in your craft room too. In fact, I think I use it more in my craft room than my food. I'm saying that because all of your pastes and the things that have the tendency to dry quickly if we don't use them, if you use the Glad press and seal and you actually press it in, keeping the air absent in this container, it really lengthens the life of your product. So here's an example of where I might have used that. I'm going to use my finger today just because, and I'm going to randomly add some shimmer. I hope this shows up in camera. I just think it's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This embellishment mousse is so creamy and yummy. I'm not gonna lick my fingers, I promise. It's gorgeous. Hard to improve on this paper. It's not that this paper needs it. I just want to add a little yum. Now you could certainly use a blending brush or spatula or something. But I have fingers that are readily available, so I'm going to use those. Okay, do that until you are happy. I'm also going to put a little bit on the card itself, around the edges here randomly, wherever you want. You could also do this with an ink pad and a blending tool. I mean, I'm not trying to cover the edges or anything, I'm just trying to add a little more shimmer. After all, we are talking about a masterpiece. I'm thinking about all the things that are coming up that this card might be appropriate for. So think about Mom for Mother's Day, or graduates. Birthdays are always a wonderful excuse to make a card with a gift card in it. Okay. Now you notice I pressed down on the press and seal, and now I'm going to screw the lid down. Okay, I'm just going to use a baby wipe to wipe my fingers off. The Embellishment Mousse is a water-based product. So there it is, gone. Let's see. Let's go ahead and use either some scrap chipboard or some foam adhesive. I happen to have a whole bunch of the 3D glue dots, so I'm going to use those. I like these because they're clear, they're inexpensive, you can layer them just like you would a foam tape. Oops. And you don't pick these off the roll, you simply bring your source to the glue dot, press, and lift up. See that? Of course, these are clear. I don't know if you can even see this, but there you go. So I think I have enough. glue dots. I might even have an excessive amount. Okay. My goal is to sort of center this in this die. The reason why I am using some foam dots, or excuse me, glue dots, is just so that I can now do things like add some cheesecloth. I'm going to start kind of tucking some cheesecloth in. Just using bits here and there. And I'm just doing a dry run right now, seeing where I might like this. There's some scissors. I'm tucking this under. Just add some fun texture to your work. Maybe just a little bit more. Let's try right there. Okay, now, here's some of the beautiful Graphic 45 roses. Here's the packaging and what it looks like when you were to purchase it off of the shelf. And here is a bowl full of them. So of course I'm going to use some of the Precious Pink and some of the natural roses. I'm going to utilize the leaves that it comes with and some of the buds. So let's take a look at what that might look like. So let's get some elements out here. Okay, some leaves. See how you get these long leaves and then there's some shorter ones. Let me dig around here. There's some white and some ivory. Oops. Let me get some variety here. Smaller leaf. The wire that comes with, you can just wrap this around your paintbrush and give a little spiral. Let's get some more ones. All right, let's see if that's enough. Okay, so doing a dry run, let's see. Let's bring that down here. Maybe we want that one here. Keep those little stems. You never know when you're going to need those, so just keep them with your flowers. All right, I don't know about you, but I always have to play around with this first. I don't know about this one. All right, let's cut some of these leaves so we have even more, so we stretch these. Okay, so let's add some there, perhaps up here. guys think? I don't want to hide the words. Oh, I do have a little pink one. I was thinking, I think it needs a little bit more pink. Let's do this pink bud. I feel like that's what it needs. All right, I'm going in. Ooh, there we go. I like that there. Okay. I don't know that this is needed. So nope, I'm not gonna do it. All right, let's check on our glue gun. We should be good and hot. Get my Sizzix tools here. Let's see. There we go. Turn, excuse me, let's turn this. All right, let's do the shape test. Yep, it's all on. Get our little glue strings off. Okay, now I can turn off my glue gun. All right. And you know, we can even add some of this embellishment mousse to our flowers. So let's show you the difference. There they are, they're pretty. But let's add a little bit of the mousse to them. Give them that antiqued shimmer. Nothing major, but just enough. Adds some richness, quick and easy, dries quickly. I think I've already said that, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. Just adds a little bit of elegance. Okay. Plus you sparkle a little bit. And who doesn't like to sparkle? Okay, so we've got our embellishments on. Let's do one more fun thing, and that is let's add some of these beautiful Studio Katia pearls, flat back pearls. If you have not used these before, these are beautiful. Okay, let's just add glue here. I'm going to use this embellishment wand, come over to here to this triangle, which contains our jewels. And then, if you just touch the one that you want to add to your card, you can pick it up and transfer it to the glue dot. So let's see, where else do we want to add this? How about right here? We can add one. How about here and here? And what about up here? Let's do that. pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's bring that up. Okay. And how about if we add, if I open this up and we add one right here. Here, maybe even one here, just for fun. Oop. Here's a smaller one. That's pretty. That's pretty. Quick and easy, guys. Now all you gotta do is, you could either just do a handwritten message in there, you could do a gift card, do some coupons, could do some photos that you had developed that might spark an old memory. I don't know. What do you think, guys? I hope this inspires you to go through your stash and see what you can do to make a difference in somebody else's life. Thanks again for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.